Qanachwe Kei Naxíxi T'aawáḳ Yuhan. Qanachwe Kawadan yaax Juan Anikuk. Ya UAS which the cutway hit clash hete should do tan yagi. Atwe just zoom kakaya wish kanachutu daat. Kaachtu yake kanachaya yaxatini T'aawáḳ Yuhan. Yachana achtuasagu ya anatlahash to yukatangi aya atkartisa ahi. Aka atatawe yejagahtune jayagu genk. Aka ade aya kwash achtanditani yeti chu oya na shay aya wutua at. Aka we wututlet sa. Ya qone aya yant ati wan qanins qallitzi. Atreach tuasagu kaltage nach qone yejagahtune wuchin. Ya chaltakatat qoa helwasaka kwati. Helwasaye kwati yaltakat Yuhan. Ya hayukatangi tinyejine. Shtiqa khatati qanahawe yede. Wan qanin zadati takhwatank. Adu insa yuk akwatan. Yuhan, qanahawe Yuhan. Wasakhat yegachis yachat gachisneer. Achawe ketenawe adat yejine. Jawasa aya kwash kelketen stuk ay dehini. Achtuasa guji dinaki. Just jinak. Kasha atine khayeti. We klash stuk aduhini. Kasha ayi. Qanach awe hastu shitsini hatuye yeti. Ya hatlirk ohas. Ajoy yagachtutlaq T'aawáḳ Yuhan. Kwash wush kanachutu daati. Achtuasa guchu oya. Satlirk ohas nadáagu daye hati. Sagutin. Wasa achtuasa gu katakuwahin yachwati. Ya ituwu. Yekwati. Ya hastu jitch aya. Hatu shitsini aya. Hachuchayati. Ya hatachkankisani. Yich aya. Shtu hasak kwaltu ya shingit. Achu ahastsu. Chakuk saye hasyati. Ha inshtu hasaltu. Ya hayukatangi. Helwasak wati Yuhan. Yigo ayach kwan. Yigo ayach kwan. Kash kleinach ye iti. Ya Wooch Woochin kekachlitzin. Yeo adati tachtatan. Ya yagi. Gulchish yach iti. Yutuagasagu yuqayatani. Guk. Aka Woochin yejagachtine. Du yuqatangida. Anya shahash. Okay. Okay. Maybe want to say anything about any of that stuff before we move on? Okay. It's all out there. But it's all good. All good stuff. I think the big part is nothing bad's gonna happen. It's just gonna be good stuff. It's just gonna be good stuff. And if you're feeling any sort of hesitancy, or if you're feeling like a wavering of the belief in yourself, just let that go. That's not ours. It's like doubt and any feelings of inadequacy, like that's not ours. It's not our stuff. And so I'd say just like put in a little boat, push it out to the snowy ocean. It's really a lot of snow for us here, so all the buildings at UAS are closed. Hopefully everybody's got everything you need. Hope your arms and back are feeling real tough if you've been out there doing anything. I just think, how does it keep getting heavier? I just don't get it, but maybe I'm just getting weaker. But anyways, we have the strength of our ancestors within us for the work that we're doing around our language. I'm really grateful because sometimes I sit around thinking, who the heck am I going to talk to? And it's y'all. So I'm really thankful and grateful for the work that you all are doing. And I thought it's like we had gone, you're thinking about last semester, it's like we had gone on this real long journey. And then we took a rest. And sometimes when you're really got a long way to go, if you take a rest, it's hard to get going again. So we'll get going nice and slow. Put the jaji on our feet, get out in the ʼatudli.átk and get to stepping. But I thought we'd start with a little listening exercise because I think it's good to go to the masters when in any times of uncertainty, just go to the words of the master speakers and see what they have to say. So some of you might have seen this before. So what I thought I'd do is put the words on the screen and you'll be able to read them. And we'll listen to how they're recorded on a phone. You know, so it's not you'll hear a little bit of bumping here and there, but the language itself is really good. And then we'll go line by line and just sort of walk through what we're looking at and ask any questions we might have about it. It's an inspirational thing, so Naxíxi is really good at that kind of stuff. And yeah, it sounds like we're not going anywhere tomorrow. So what a great time to study Lingi. Just lock your doors, get the books out, get the recordings, start a fire if you can, or do whatever. Sounds very cozy and wintry. And be safe if you have to drive anywhere. It's pretty wild out there. Okay. So after we do the listening exercise, let's chat, have a little Q&A, sort of just anything that you're had a hard time with in terms of like, you know, sometimes if you take a break from language study, you'll come back and be like, how do I say the thing that I obviously know how to say, right? It's just like, but it's not always obvious, but then it's just sort of getting back into a habit, which is fine. It's all fine. It's all good. And we're going to try a little exercise, which will maybe distract us from being too worried, where we'll build a little character and sit around a fake little table. And I hope it's fun. Anyways. I hope it's fun. Okay, here we go. So I put this in here. Let's see. Oh, wait, I gotta do it again. I gotta do the share the audio thing. Okay. I think I clicked this twice and it goes. I don't know.
Agaan Kei Naxíxi yaax hayuqatangi Shkaháadi Kei Wooch a'daagw Shkaháadi achas lachotia yaax a'tudli a'tk.
Okay. Anybody want to read that? He did a wonderful job. It'd be nice to hear someone mimic that speaker.
Agaan Kei Naxíxi yaax hayuqatangi Kei Wooch a'daagw Shkaháadi achas a'tudli.átk yaax a'tudli a'tk.
Okay, sheesh. And just to get us ready for analysis, what if we made the verbs a different color? What color should we make them?
Blue.
Okay, blue it is. What's the first verb you see?
Kei Naxíxi.
Kei Naxíxi, there's a verb. Oh, what colors? Oh, that's kind of like a steely blue. I don't know what that is. Okay. It's not very blue. You need a different palette. Hold on. Here. Aqua. That sounds like a fairly blue thing. Maybe blueberry. Oh, there we go. Kanata. Okay, what's the next one?
Kei Naxíxi.
Yeah, oh wow. Okay. Next one.
ʼatudli.
Yeah, oh wow. Next one.
What about yati at the beginning?
Oh yeah, we skipped one. My bad.
Is agaan a verb or is that a noun?
It's a noun, but
Okay.
it comes from a verb. So
Yaax at the second to last sentence. So
yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll make the yeah like a it'd be ice colored because it's there, but it's
Not enough contrast.
oh my goodness, where did it go? Okay, how about spring? No, ugh. What am I gonna do here?
Green, purple, red.
Fern. There we go. It'll be fern. They gotta have like such interesting names. I was like, what color is that though? Okay, so there's blueberry and fern. Apparently. Anything else? 3 more, I think.
At the end, yaax.
Okay.
ʼadudli.átk.
ʼadudli.átk. All right, we gotta get the hus in there.
And ʼatudli.
Here we go. ʼatudli.átk, the cutway verbs. I think we found them all. There's a couple of verbal nouns in there. Agaan, yukatangi. This is only 2. Gadane is in there twice. It's an adverb. Okay. So let's just go line by line. They're like we're gonna go through little chunks and just sort of see what we're looking at. I think this one I used the classifier chart. It's maybe an outdated one. I don't know. I don't put the +I and +D on there anymore. It's interesting. Or the minus. I don't put the minus on there. That's right. And just so you folks know, like if I saw this classifier right here, D, I would usually go CL period parenthesis D comma 0 comma I. So this is how I would document this classifier right here. If it's this one, so we'll put this right under here. If it's this one, sa, I'm gonna go delete, delete, S, delete, delete, just like that. So the way that I prefer to document these classifiers now, so for example, this one up here, I would go L, I. So in the middle is the classifier group. To the left of it would be the letter D, only if it's +D. To the right of it would be the letter I, only if it's +I. I think that makes sense to me, because if you were to say, if it's Z, then you have D, S, I. Then you'll be able to see Z. Like you'll see all those little parts in there. Anyways, so we're just thinking about the classifier as we encounter these different verbs, as we think about what all this stuff means when we put it together. And we'll see a bunch of these have this letter I at the end. So, agaan, Kei Naxíxi. Anybody have ideas of what this is saying?
Every sunrise.
Yes, the sunrise. So Kei Naxíxi would be the sun is rising. Kei Naxíxi is, depends, we have to see what's coming next, because it could be that or when the sun is rising. But we'll see, like when we tie it together with the other stuff, we'll kind of see how it all comes together. So, and agaan comes from, it's like a burning thing, a lit thing, I guess is what I would think of it as. And then we've got, let me keep the chat open so I can keep on it. Okay. Move this down if I can. Okay. Agaan Kei Naxíxi. So if we pull it apart, we do see some of these things. And again, like, so now I can get rid of these and just say 0. I could get rid of these and also just say 0. Okay. Mode classifier 0 burn. Okay. I could change it. So the sun is rising. What about yaax yati?
Like the language we're
Yeah, well, like on its own, it is like it, right?
yeah. Like it.
Yeah. So yaax is like, and then the ayah is, you usually hear yaax yati. Yaax yati doesn't change it at all. Agaan Kei Naxíxi yaax yati. All right, so yaax yati is for something to be like something. Again, so here's the verb. When we get to the classifier, we can just go classifier period 0, I. Just like noting what's that classifier doing. So we've had a 0 classifier, and now a classifier, because it is that way. What about hayuqatangi?
Our language.
Yes, right. So our language, right? So you've got yuqatangi. There's that classifier again. So if we have sun rising, it is like it, our language, how are we going to translate that whole phrase?
Our language is like the rising sun?
That's right. That's right. So the yaax part is telling you whatever it's like is that thing that's right before it, right? And then hayuqatangi is telling you the thing that we're talking about, right? So here we see this speech starting with a metaphor. Our language is like the rising sun. Okay, any questions?
Renee,
Ah,
if yaax or ayakh is there, is the part before always what the part after is being compared to? Do you
yes.
ever see it the other way around, or is that pretty solid?
Well, if you would have to say it would just get confusing. So if you say hayuqatangi, I think the logic for thing, it wants to name, like, it keeps it in a certain order to keep it from getting confusing, right? So if you wanted to say the snow is like a blanket, right? And so that's the order it's going to go in. And so that's just the way the verb is going to want to work. And that way it doesn't get too confusing, because I think it gets confusing fast. So good question.
See, Lance, when you add that I, you're making it a noun.
Yeah, I think it's like the sunrise. Yeah.
So
'Cause-
if I was gonna say sit kanauk, how do I make that a noun? Like kanaugu?
yeah. I think that would work. But it's not always the same every time. It kind of depends on the verb. There's a couple of them that have that, like yachte. That would be the noun form for being like something. It'd be pretty rare. You usually hear like like unity, being one. That's a noun. Kei Naxíxi could also be a relational phrase, like when the sun is rising. So you could say like I'm happy the sun is rising, right? So it depends on how it's being used. In this case, it's being used as a noun. Or like
Cheese.
the rising sun. Yeah. Okay, next chunk. Let's just start with just keguchlitzin. What are those two pieces?
Still, what?
Say it again.
Still?
Well, just is like just or very. It kind of depends. It's like a little particle. So Yesu would be more like still. What about so just or very or that? Yeah, with just you're gonna kind of got to see what else is there to see how it's working. It really likes to grab onto things. If it doesn't, if there's not some little particle right after it, then it's usually just.
It will be strong.
It will just be strong. Yehovah. So ke guchlitzin, it will just get strong. So again, seeing this guchlitzin. So there's the classifier. No D. It is an L. Now I. Oops. Ke guchlitzin. It will just be strong. Kadain wooch, or he says wooshin, adayejitunei. This,
Something like if we just do the work together.
yes, and I would say this I right here is turning it into a when. That's what it's doing to the verb.
When we work well together.
Yes, when we work well on it together. And so this is interesting too. You say ada, which means around it or about it, but that's how Tlingit does for like work on it. Right, so you don't have the on verb there, or the on directional term. Kadain wuchin adayejitunei. So it will just get stronger. It'll just gain strength when we work well on it together. Okay. Any questions about that one?
How do you pick whether it's wooch or whoosh?
I usually hear whoosh tin and wooch in. So usually it's like just pick one. But then I do hear whoosh in and whooch tin as well. So I think it's a more likely than not you're going to get whooch in and whoosh tin. But you'll hear speakers who use them the other ways too.
Goodness, geez.
K'nai, I have a question. So if you have whoosh or whooch and you add in or tin to them, then the verb does not go plus D, eh? That cancels it out somehow?
Well, it's just doing the verb together, right? So like if we're gonna we're gonna work on a car together, that would be wooching. But if we're gonna work on each other, like, you know, I'll help you with your emotional things and you'll help me, like that's gonna be woochyejitunei.
Genuchtíos. I understand.
Yeah. Same with like eating, any of those. We're going to eat together or we're going to eat each other. Like, and so, yeah, it's always important to see. But that wooching just means to do the verb together. So it doesn't necessarily push it plus D. It's a good
Okay.
question.
Genuchtíos.
Okay. Okay, cruising right along. What about hashuka hus? I might capitalize it. Oh, I have to go back and do that.
All the ones who came before us.
That's right.
Ah.
So when you have shuka, like that really means in front of something. It could also mean ahead of something. So for example, if we're working on something and you say, ach shuka yan ye jine, or ach shuka yan ye jine. Ye jine. Sorry. You finished working before I did. Right. Ach shuka hati agut. You got here before I did. Which I could probably say every night. But but when you say ha, it becomes a capital letter concept. Like hashuka is usually our ancestors. Hashuka hus, the ones who went ahead of us, our ancestors. Yeah. Now we get a big old verb. Ach has kayam shechuti ye, which is also actually turned into a noun. So the ach verby ye part is saying the place where that verb happened. Okay, so that's what that's doing. Sometimes ach is going to be and you just have to listen closely to catch that high tone in it. So ach would be at that place, kind of repeatedly, probably. And then we have this big verb, which I don't know if it's really documented anywhere, but maybe it is.
So hune, if you see ach and ye sandwiching a verb, does that pretty much always mean the place where the verb happened?
Yes.
Okay.
So usually you have verby, yeah, the place, and you'll see a whole bunch of place names like that. You'll see it in stories, and it doesn't have to be a big, like you could say, the place we picked berries, right? The place where we ate, right? And so it's really it's an interesting thing that Tlingit does. If you change this to ade verby, yeah, that would be the way the verb happened. So this yeah, is the place where that verb happened.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. So let me try, whoops. Let's see if this one is in Jeff's notes. We'll take a look and see. So here's the notes, reformatted. We'll go down to ch, and we'll see if we could find, here's choot. So we get dragging, carrying, sharpening, jerking, a kausachut. And what we're looking for is kayaudlechut. So it's going to have ka and ya, a D plus L classifier. Here's adzing. That's interesting. And chopping. Dechut, akachut, kadechut.
That's what I thought it was carving out.
Mm-hmm. Akachut, chopping it up. Ayaulechut came to help at a pu'ich. So it is going to be this chopping one. I don't think this is a documented verb. So I will go over what it is chopping. So yeah, we just had our ancestors. So if our ancestors were talked about, let's cue the balloons. They're the ones who did it. Balloons for their ancestors, yay. Any predictions? Guesses are just fine.
That Story Nation has it, Kane.
Oh, they do. Oh, great.
Yeah, as Kali Khut, chop up or split wood.
But there's no D.
Oh, let's go see it. Yeah.
Oh, true.
For checking. We should be checking all our sources while we look at these. So, yeah, so kashechut. So there's no ya and there's no plus D on there. But it's in this realm, right? And, luckily we talked to Anya Shahash about it, so he could just tell us. So I have the cheat. I put the cheat code in the machine. Any predictions? What did they do?
Carved it out.
Yeah. It's kind of but it's not really has to do with carving though. It's more
They-
like
They blazed it.
Made a path.
they cleared the path for us. Yes. Well, they cleared the path.
Yeah.
Right? So the way this verb was explained is like if you needed to go make a trail. And it's just a whole bunch of bush and a whole bunch of maybe like little trees and stuff. You're just gonna have to chop it all out. And so that's the verb he used. Which is pretty amazing. It's an amazing verb. I think it's great. So then you have the place where they chopped out a path, I guess. That's the way I would think of it. It's a similar concept. I've heard this concept talked about before as Yanhas ausene tu adiye. That's another way I've heard it talked about, is they have already prepared this place that we're walking on. And so this is another concept I think that comes through in Shinget Tundatani, is that the ancestors made the path. Right. And so talking about our language, talking about what we're doing.
Interesting. There's both a horizontal and a vertical prefix.
Yeah, because then I think you've got like the plane of of the path, and then you've got the trees that are getting chopped out of there. Because you also get it an ayakawa done. To really be snowing so hard you could barely see. We certainly can't shovel fast enough. But thank you to my neighbor for bringing his plow truck over. Okay. Let's see what's next. So here's yachayayati, right? Hashuka ahasach haskayam tlechutiye yachayayati. So here we get this. Once you get a yachyati in this situation, it's just saying like the whole thing is becoming, it's just an extended metaphor, right? Our language is like the sun rising. It's like this place. It's like a place where our ancestors have cleared a path. We got to get all those, right? It's so interesting to me to like pull it all apart, look at all those little pieces, and then like translate the whole thing. It's fun. What about wututi? This can be another when thing. In other places, they might say wututi.
Is it perfective? We did
did it.
something well.
Well, when we did something, or when we do something, perhaps. Let's go look for this T. Go back into Nate's story. So here's the T apostrophe. I think it's under A. Right there. And we'll go just see what they have. It's good practice. So we'll look under find. T'aawáḳ nadáakw ʼadudli.átk. They found the hammer under the table. How are we going to translate it? When we find it, or when when we found it, I don't know. I guess I'd say when we find it. That's maybe how I'd end up translating that. Last line of the speech. K'dain yaax. Another big verb. We'll have to look it up. Go down to Kei. That one. That's a big verb. Because this verb means to trail, to like, when it says trail, that means like if you see some footprints of a deer, you're going to go follow it. See footprints of a person, you're going to go follow it. It also means to untangle, and it means to undo like you're weaving. Those are all the same concept in Tlingit.
So all you're repeating is you're finding it again, really.
Well, it says like when we find it, we're going to carefully follow it.
Yeah, like it'll be sorted out, or it'll be something we can follow. Yeah, exactly. Like sorted out or something. Yeah.
We're not getting off this trail. If you say k'dain k'dain, we are going to closely we're going to follow this path. Right.
Got it. We're going to stay on it. Okay.
That's right. That's our mission. That's our goal.
I think Naxíxi said this to me one time because I would follow behind him to make sure he didn't fall down. And he was making a path in the snow, and he said that. Something like that.
Okay. Goodness, sheesh. We're going to just carefully follow along that path, right? So then again, the whole thing, just kekuchtletzin k'dain wuchin adayejetuneye. Hashuka ahas achas kayam lechutiye yach ayayati. Wututei k'dain su yakagachtuke. Shkaháadi ataya. And so like when you work with like master level speakers, it's just so fun because like they'll just like make this little tiny recording. It was a huge conceptual thing, grammar stuff, really, really fun things that are in there. Thoughts or questions?
I have a question. As I'm just thinking about this here, I'm looking at it. You see, k'dain, twice in here. And it's just like sometimes just wondering, like I always think of k'dain like well, good, something like that, right? But in the last sentence, when you say we found it, I'm trying to figure out how does that good, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like usually the kedain is gonna talk about the verb that's coming. So in this
Okay.
case, wutut iyi, when we have found it, kedain su yakagachtu ke, we will carefully follow that path again. Right. And so there's so much stuff to like, because he's also saying we're kind of off the path, right? Because that's why the again is on there, right? And so like it's so neat to come back in, because like even just these like 3 or 4 sentences here, you could just keep coming back and finding new things as you continue your own study of Shingit to see the depth of the language. You'll see like it's a big concept. There's metaphors in here. There's really important conceptual things on here, but also it's saying this sort of repeated concept, which is you just got to imitate these ancestors because they really had something. They really, really did. And for us, like it's so much of a reconstruction for us. And so I find stuff like this incredibly inspiring. And so I was really excited when Shkaháadi, Tim Hall, he's the one who recorded it. He sent it to me and we worked on it and we talked to Nadáagu about it. And yeah, it was good stuff.
I know it's almost like it's almost like unless you really know the depth of the words, you don't really get the true meaning just from the interpretation. And it's like what I heard, I missed the class last week and I was glad to hear that we're going to do some very, actual interpretation, because I think that's just, I love that part. Finish.
Okay, so let's see. So let's try. Okay, let's try this other thing. So here's, wait, where do we go? So stop share. So there's a link in the chat that should take you to what's called a Miro board. And so Miro is a software company that makes things to help people run meetings and stuff. And so I thought we would try this. So here I am. I made a little goatee. So here's René with this guka. So what you can do is you can take like a body. So if you click on it, and there's a couple ways you can, I think it's Command C for copy, Command D for duplicate. You should be able to right click as well and say copy, and then you're going to paste. So you're going to give yourself a little outfit here. Idna. This is your upper body right here. And then you give yourself a little face. So don't take it and drag it. Don't take it. But instead you can right click and copy, or you should be able to push Command C, or if you're on a Windows computer, I'm not sure, maybe Control C and then Control V. And then let me zoom out. Seat yourself at the table. Guk T'aawáḳ nadáakw qayqi Wooch in ʼadudli.átk ʼatudli.átk ʼatudli.átk ʼayayaqwati yaax Woochin ʼadudli.átk yaax Tlalhat ayashukwa T'aadusa ʼatsatnach niyate aya. So there's little pieces flying all over. How's it going?
How do we
Like I know how to copy it, but where do I put it?
Okay. Let's get rid of it. So for example, so if I were to just select this, I can copy and I can, you could you go kind of near where you want to sit, I guess, and then paste, and I could drag it over here, and I go grab a head, copy, paste, and then I can drag it over there.
Ah, gonna jeez.
And then I can grab a, you gotta zoom way in, like see what the faces look like. Oh, here, this is a good conversation starter face. There we go. So now I can scroll way up here. And
But I don't see how to grab a name for myself.
oh, okay, that's a good question. So let's say I'm ready for a name. So you should see on your left, on the left-hand side, text. So now I can type ʼatudli.átk. So now you can type your name underneath yourself.
Sorry. All I see is all these fluttering name visiting things.
Oh,
And
yeah,
who am I?
Well, you're gonna make your own little person, and then you're gonna put your name under it.
Okay, I will try that.
I see a little jacket over here. Oh, someone's got a nice little hat on.
Will you please post the link to this app again?
Yeah. Where's the chat? Okay.
Okay.
I gotta delete this person here. Oh, look at these things flying all over the place. Okay, so if our language is Kei Naxíxi, what is this like?
Sorry to be so literal minded.
It's okay.
But so I just grab a head. I mean, I'm stuck on the very first step.
Okay.
When I go to the site. So I'm looking at the site on my own computer.
And seeing like a million little things flying all over the place.
Right. So maybe I should hide my collaborators. But I still don't know who I am.
Well, so there's a body, so you can select like a little bot, like there's this person with a knife for some reason. And so if I select that person, I push Command C for copy, Command V for paste. Now I've pasted it, and now I got to pick a spot at the table. So here I am over here with my knife. Oh, don't move the table. Whoever moves the table, don't move the table. Oh, wait, let me lock the table. Hold on. Locking the table. So then you could zoom in and grab yourself, grab a hairdo, or grab a head. You grab, there's a face way down here.
Okay. So what I chose should have been pasted somewhere.
Yes, like wherever, if you want, like one thing that might make it easier, like, so see, I'll zoom in and I'll click this person with the lightning or whatever it is. I might zoom out, go to where I want to be at the table. And if I paste, it's going to paste it pretty close to where I zoom in.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
It's going exactly how I envisioned it would go. But once we have it, we'll be able to go back to the same thing and just move ourselves around, perhaps. Kadain wuchin yejikachtune yat adan. I'm gonna lock myself so that no one can move me around now.
Hash copy paste chi woo nishon khat.
Can you write?
Sha mobile app.
Oh. Do you want to tell me which one you want? I could grab it for you.
Dinosaur head.
Okay, goose. Yeah, Digga? Is this the dinosaur head?
Ah.
Is there a giant at our table? What's going on here? I'm gonna make you a little smaller. Whoever this giant is, you just give it a little bit. Oh, you could have a shot plane.
It would be a bobblehead if you kept the head clean.
You could be the big person at the table. Okay, so I'll put you over here. Ayat was clean. T'aawáḳ na so it was a goo.
Kuna kadate yaax ayachat.
Oh, yaqasaqwa. Yataga.
If it's easier for folks, there's little like name cards at the bottom you can build your character on by copy and pasting, and then you can just select all of it and copy and paste or drag it up. I found it easier to build at the bottom than to try and claim a spot and float heads around.
Oh, okay, so build your body first. Okay.
I'm just finding this whole thing incredibly frustrating because I think I'm looking at someone else's screen and I feel as if I can't do anything in it anymore.
So at the very top of Kune's screen, you can see a blue icon that's highlighted with the arrow. If you click that, it'll hide everybody else's cursors except for yours.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then it removes some of the visual clutter.
Katin Shah, you're ahead of me, Yale Kaku, because I can see your head and I have only a lightning shirt.
Well, I don't have a shirt. That's one of the things I find incredibly frustrating about this.
We can all be talking heads together.
I'm not going to do any more. You're just going to have to take me as I am.
Yeah, quite tea.
That's if you care. If you don't care. Can you give us the pep talk again?
Well, I want to do something incredibly difficult, so speaking Tlingit would seem so easy. Like, can we do the easy stuff like speaking Tlingit? But I see some people are done if they want to volunteer themselves as design coaches for anybody who wants some assistance. Oh, someone's got a big arrow. What's going on? All that really matters is that we sit around the table and we pick a spot. That's the biggest thing. The rest was really just messing around.
I'm faceless and that doesn't matter, I guess. I can't get my face on there for some reason. I keep trying, but
one.
Has gonna kadate da yayati.
Oh,
Okay, I'm done if anyone needs help.
How do you make them all stick together and not be just parts?
Question Atuna Masakari phone mobile.
Oh, okay. You can lock them, or you can sort of drag over everything, and then you can move them around. ayatwasqeen, which body do you want? There's not any like dinosaur looking ones I see. So pick an outfit.
Atuna, tasawe, phone. Tangi yuka tangi.
ʼatudli.átk.
Ah.
Just give you this cool blazer.
Kei Naxíxi. Jeez.
And
Oh, where?
we've got one 3-eyed person. You want Shkaháadi to a T. Oh wait, there's also T'aawáḳ.
Yeah, to us go.
Yeah,
So you may not have a face, Christine, but I gave you glasses.
oh yeah, okay.
Sha achjiwo. Chasha achjiwo. We do. Tsatnach.
What's that? Oh wait, that guy.
Like. Shawat. Satnach.
Yaax again. Dawch na atsai to asagu.
T'aawációtí we ʼadudli. Ayachat ʼatudli.
Okay.
You go where?
Yaax dawkasa.
We ʼakwagi awe. I gotta change.
Okay.
Wanna choose where you go where. I can't remember how you say stripes. A'adudli.
That's.
a'tudli. You get.
Dísi.
Yuck. Khataya. Fine.
You shakshare. Guksai to asagu. Yeah, you did litzin. Dawkasa.
We plaid kudetsi. Or ʼutjekati kudetsi. Ka Shkaháadi long. Ka walk down.
Ooh, T'aawáḳ down asa.
Yeah.
Yetaga.
Sure. Cheese.
Chatsa.
Yakwati. Yatakwa dawkasa. You did litzin. Yetaga.
Wait, achugu, achuk.
Yetaga. Qach. Achuk dachwa qach. Okay.
Please.
We Shkaháadi ban ʼatudli.átk.
Let's wait, that's yeah, Qualkiwi. Yikkinuk. Okay. Yataga? Juan Klein.
Yaax. Khatea. Yaax garachi.
Okay. Shanaqid. Dakshata.
Shkaháadi tlaidiacheti.
Dakyasa. Yataga.
We'll do it jointly. That's a perfect face.
We nadáakw ʼatudli.átk.
Gukatin. T'aawáḳ.
Yataga. Shakuti.
Gunachis Klein.
Yak Johan. Asatsit the Twasagu. Ichwatishi.
Khataya. Chadasa. Tis Islayech.
Okay.
Okay.
Tsachage Twasagu.
Chadasa. Yeah. It's cheese.
Lingi Hawuni. Asat Kakoni Aidat. Kashitwasagu Ichatishi Qati. Lingi, how are you? Okay. Anybody else need help? Binalchish kitin Kei Naxíxi T'aawáḥ. T'aawáḥ Nadáagu. Qonea Wooch ʼatudli.átk. Shkaháadi Gulchataya. Aqatzatnachte. Aqatzatnachte. Yade qayade. Joya. Yahalilko has Nadáagu. Yaax aya tuqin. Wooch ʼatudli.átk. T'aawáḥ Tis atachch ti. Yaax satini. Nadáagu yaax. Ya tlech dis qanach tlech yiyat yaax. Yiyat chwasatin. Ajoy tlachach yagi. Yaax hayati. Ya singeta jichwani. Yel qakutan kahidi duwasaquish kalnik. Ya hayat ki kuku qauhan so hakuku hashkalnik ki. Ya adat jetudne hatuasagu qajitaya wututi wiyis kuku. Yiko Juan shtakat Johan. Qone wuchin yuqaqartitlaat. Ye awe wan qanins yuqatank wushtu waqiqan Ye awe tzatnachte. Chadasa ituasagu atat yuqay atki qaqwati shtakat Johan. Achtuasagu shtakati sakhwa qoa. Ajoy ideka qoha. Gug qoha shashkwan.
Yak satini hawak Dísi away. Talk ite semester away. Yachana yigoy Juan Wooch.
Sheesh. Dalatja.
Hell asa kayanach udal ka neilliachiati yahawutu da ati. Wooch cheese.
Ilqakuke.
Okay, Hostini, check out Johan. Shanach Dísi de Quadakin, Achla Hochwagak away quiz his with Actusugu Achawe Ahush Kanach. Nashish.
Yak echa. T'ach ek.
Hat Dísi akai idutoye atshi. Ade kunak tinch. Tashuye dak. Kunak tinch. Ak kuni yeduasak David. Wyoming dak kunatinch. Allah. Yake. Sayek yeyati. With David. At Shkaháadi agudli.átk for Perseverance Theater. Akhuni and Sayek. Yake. Ganash chish.
Sheesh. Yedishatzin. Oh, Kashat Huga. It was so do ideka kwaha. Hagun kach.
Kalk Kwaslatin, Kalk Nain Yantu E, at Khachi Sani Pretzel Bites, Huchoy.
ʼatk. Sheesh. Becca.
Kiswas is tak is ayahat tuo segu hayit ka hasi shitkach hawusiti skun clank hasiti dot aga awe yejikwane achdat at codziti koai yidat grant application yen kwasane Aktuasagu Wujin Yakwa Katukla Adi Huchoe.
Sheesh. Okay. Ayat was clean.
Kunach Kei Naxíxi Shkaháadi Yatri T'aawáḳ Hachiwu Kik Kik Yehayati Achis Janayi Ite Achtiwusigu Hash Adatri semester just office ite Janayi Yedat. Huchoe.
You okay? Sheesh. Clean. Ishkagu.
Ayachat. Tliake, Dzante Kahine, or Tlain Date Dakusitan. Dech Ka Uska Shuwu, Akat Plat Awe, Cha Shadkat Kach, We Kastista, Yehas Ausne, Ach Dick Slech Uchchin, Ach Awe, Slech Was Husine, Ka Ach Khan Ka Ach Yitk Has Ausne, Dech one late Gucci, Shudkat de Duji Wu, Ach Ka Ye Yawaka, Yawaka, Plain Kailja, Kuwati, Ka Tlain Shawat, Wasi Kuwu, Ye Yawaka, Yadak Kahulziti, Jas late away. Ach tu sigu aya tak teen late ka ich ka awe tak tle a de kak waha ayach ch a tlak tlia a tak shakte ch a ye yiguwat shakte ya a tlain tak a de kakwaha tak tlech dakusitani shakte tleka tak ya yadida dak shakte dek ka jinkat tak Yayidadach. Atlain siu dakusitan ka hech le dakusitan. Tlech adusa kutl ida yehas ausne. Stuga chadeti akhe sa akhe gnulchish.
Yaax Naxíxi. Let's see.
Yake yuxatini Johan. T'aawáḳ. T'aawáḳ. Chasichan. Diudak. Wusitan. Tu. Kua tlachwasa. T'aawáḳ. Ye jichwane. Ach ye janaeis. Tu. Chwadlisa. Askutu yik. Askutu nach. Yan chwagut. Ka uchan. Ach. Chuch kachat. Shoot awu to the ach. Ka ganguk. Utuake. Ka kautzine. Ha yakei atcha. Chacha. Gnaltish.
Yaax Naxíxi. Gusclain.
Gnalchish. Yaax Satini Tlakat Yuhan. Knachuk ach ka kiswas. Shke. Wiglaich on Tlakat Yuhan. Wooch tinye jagach tune. Kinde wooch ye gach tulshat. Atlain Gnalchish.
Yaax Naxíxi. Chitwa. Oh, mute the Kayeati.
All right, Naxíxi. Sisters atwine ya. Sis dleit chwachain. Gun kachwachuk. Adach Scottish Hut City. Ka Sunday ʼatudli.átk City. Robbie Burns de Yagi. T'aawáḳ Dísi. Tlekaka Kejin. Adach just chaya gugank do yukatangi yat. Tlech kunach tutla ani wushin wutus hani. Tlech uchke wushin wutus hani. Tlech wushin ha kage kaudaha. Mankas tlech wushkaden wutu adi. Tlech ha tu. Tlech ha tu wuhas aku. Wafat cha'adi yachatnu. Tlech ha tu wuhas aku wafat. Gnalchish.
Echoe Gulchish. Kashuk Kawadai.
Gnalchish Yaax Satini Tlakat Yuhan. Shanach Dísi ka T'aawáḳ Dísi. California. Cuchwatin. San Diego. Joshua Tree. Los Angeles. Santa Barbara. Cuchwatin. Chumash. Ka Tongva. Ka Kitsani Awe. Achta ka ach dachun grade ku atlatuwu chwasatin. Gunaschísh achet isa achi.
Kecha, Chish. Utsafa.
Ganchish Hashuka Hastu Itk Yan Tuat Ye Hask Ayacha Hastu Jide Gak Tuti Ha Dachkan Siti Ha Slatsin Ha Kusti Ha Ani Ha Yukatangi Achawe Denver Day Ka Fairbanks Day Yukukwatink Ach Dachkan Ye Harat Has Hash Kakhalsnik Nuch Ka Hastu Ik At Kwatla Tuch Huch
Yake, Chish. Shanaqaid.
Naxíxi. Yaax late ka Kei Naxíxi shallow away. Yeah. Yeah, late ka nach kakwatu slink it nach 10 away. You hat yanaska shotly. Itua siguaga late ka kusti yik. Ayanach ge iti nachyati. Wana ki ashi kuditi aga chatwu hich stakat gal yak a sekhwate adach tuchtatanen achtuagas guch stakat gal tres usk a Schwadle geet. You had Yanaska, Yadak. Ede Chwetske, Akina Akni. Wanaga iti nakyati. Slidzi aga, Khant Nukch. Khatwu Hich. Stikatgao yak a sekhwate. Adach tuchtatanen achtuagas guch. Stikat gao tles usk a. Schwadle geet. Huch.
Chish. Kecha. Cuisine.
Yeah. Kiswas aga akwedlasa Claysiagin Jek Wane Kat Kunach Wadli Wesh Aga Aki Kudas Akat Kakwitla Ka Kawud Claysian Kwasanage.
Okay. Chish. Yelt Uchkla.
Gunulchish yaax atlein leita husitan dak kak yatat ka serkanansu leita gusatan ha lechosaku manasawe ku titlak chachli kakaini dot akadun nut achtwasigu kutan gunulchish
Yakecha. Cheese. Kas'a akulchait.
T'aawáxke ach kelk in leitin wutuseich chagu guna at plain. Plate kakinach snow dinosaur.
Okay, cheese. Juan Lane.
Khadaya yake yuxatini awe we khana. Khadaya Khwantlain aksayi. Cajun Yagiye Ahun Kayan Pachanauk Hastewokoch Kunachyak Wasatini Awe Ahun Kayan Liz, Carlene, Chat Diana Kaach Shatch Betty you has to say Bayadu we Yahaye awe ach nach hek Yahaye chasidat. Gonarchish ach Ediens ache Wooch.
Cheese. Yikte too. Yitke koa.
Steak. Click.
Taliach satin win a dog yaax. Kasi kakwateshi. Konachik ea Nadáagu Kayiyu Katangi. Tukagach T'aawáḳ was deo Tushayech Agajas Jagut Kaya Kajeta Kade. Take the Hinaya we yaax Kuik Dewu good. Hasta Kuik aya Gwaswe Kushta. Ye awa a ye deo a ye woo good daya a ye o good away. We hit plane. Gonna KO ik. Goksai wasa. Goksai kono kwakona nashi. Ye away adata ya achtuasago adat you de tan. Goksai kinuk. Akadas adat you agatishaan. Kleksandek itch. Tukagachta ab yata. Chade had no gwell klesk ijig. Ye away at achtashi. Kekagachsagu. Ya hawujin you at gikoa. Kanakhe wuke. Achtuik adat. Stakat Johan cheese. Thanks everyone for trying. I hope it was fun, and I'm sorry if it wasn't fun. I think
Ach eat kuahai we internet.
cheese. Good.
Okay. Gulchish. Yak Khana Stikat Yuhan. Just Achtawasi Guyi in Kakuniki. We gooch a dot. We they slink. We Christmas holiday Kanach. Dikatyagi dark gooch dark haswu art with teak cut Daisling all Dianach Tech ai Libya sock Clash Unashe Hidida we dark gooch Wutusitini Kagi has at ka has ash kuryat ka has at Shiwakuk Clash Wudusku Monach sawe we gooch wake hasiyeti gwal zisko has our jock yak at awe we gooch gulchish gooch awe
Yakecha, el cheese klein, Klikudzish Kelnik.
gulchish
Okay. Cheese, everybody. We will try it again. And so my hope is we can kind of use this as a way to set an order. So I'll stay here and you guys could sit at different spots if you want to. One time Raven went to a ku'ik and he came in and he says, where is this foreign dignitary going to sit? So whenever we start class, feel free to yell that and then seat yourself wherever you want to. Let's see. I think T'aawáḳ has our conversation for next Monday, which is meeting at the grocery store. I guess that's our, so even though like this table, it's not like we're sitting literally at a table. It's just a way for us to have an order to go in. Just send it to the left. And I think from this point forward, it doesn't start with me. It starts whoever sits to my left. So the one, whoever is sort of guiding the conversation, and you don't have to guide the whole thing, but it's just you're coming up with some ideas for us to talk about. So we have a week to get our act together. And whenever we do this, there's no pressure. Like really, I hope you don't feel pressure, but it's a really good opportunity to just use the language. No one's going to cut you off. No one's going to do anything rude or disrespectful here. We're just going to try this out so that we can use the language. And I think we don't always have to go around in a circle every time. I think that kind of helps, though, to make sure everyone does get a chance to talk. And it really helps me to just hear people and where they're at with their language. So I think next week is we're at a grocery store and we run into each other maybe. Well, I'll let T'aawáḳ explain it, but
If I could just maybe suggest a different, instead of it being whoever's to your left, whoever suggested the theme, because the themes are already in order of weeks. So whoever suggested it can kick it off, or whoever is the left of suggesting it, if we don't want to be the first ones on the spot. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so anyone can start, and then it goes to the left of that person, whoever starts has it.
Left when you're facing the table?
Well, just like always going this way, or it's going always clockwise around the table.
Clockwise.
Because if you go left, then good things are going to happen. So lucky on the left. So just think about that when we start for Monday classes, when we're going to really start to push for it to be conversational. And we could try different things too. And you could change your outfits if you want to. But if that whole thing was frustrating, you don't have to do anything. But this thing will use the same board, so it's already built. So you can kind of click and drag over your person, and then you can drag yourself wherever you want to. Any other thoughts or questions about next? Well, we got Wednesday too. Wednesday we're going to do a little bit more structured lesson learning type of stuff.
So did you just say a chance meeting at a grocery store? What are you going to eat and discuss that?
T'aawáḳ, what is it you are cooking? I think you have a good understanding of what I envisioned for our conversation.
And we still have many open spots. So I just put the Google Doc in the chat. So if you haven't done it yet, please go in and populate it. And then you know what's coming up too. Naxíxi.
And this is for Monday, right?
Yes, this is for our Monday conversations to give us assistance.
Naxíxi.
Okay, Johan. Atlen Gulchish Klein. Great stuff. See you folks on Naskiki Khan.
Cheese.
Oh, and I forgot. Someone had questions. So bring questions to the Wednesday class.
Naxíxi.
Naxíxi.
Naxíxi. Johan.
Naxíxi.
Naxíxi.
Tiakan.
That was good. Fun.
You want to pause the recording? I want to steal you for a minute.